Welcome to the enthralling world of solo leveling. Today, we will explore Sung Jinwoo's thrilling journey through the world of magic and dungeons. Stay connected to witness an epic tale of a weak boy who goes on to become unrivaled in his world. 3 years ago, a Navy officer questions his captain about their absence in the ongoing fight. The captain advises leaving it to the hunters to handle. Low-rank hunters face large ant armies, struggling until S-rank hunters arrive to support them. Guildmaster Choi and his men combat a separate ant army. The universe's origins unfold. 10 years back, gates connected the human world to an alternate dimension, unleashing magic beasts immune to standard weapons. Hunters, humans with awakened abilities, fight them, ranked S to E based on magic power. Once awakened, hunters can't gain more strength. In the present, Park and Kim catch up on life. Park, still raiding, aims to provide for his family. Sung Jinwoo, solo leveling's protagonist, arrives. Kim mentions Jinwoo's reputation as one of the weakest hunters and suggests his raids are likely easy ones. Jinwoo meets fellow hunter Juhee, who questions his injuries from an E-rank dungeon. Despite S-rank hunters' presence, they lacked a healer for the raid. Juhee criticizes the S-rank hunter's selfish choice, but Jinwoo, accustomed to mistreatment, brushes it off. They join a raid meeting led by Song Cheol. After greetings, Song, Jinwoo, and others enter a gate. Meanwhile, a man updates Chairman Go on his meeting with the administration. The administrators worry about dungeon breaks, but emphasize collecting valuable items. Go shows an essence stone collected from defeated magic beasts and its potential for powerful weapons. Jinwoo struggles in the dungeon, saved by Park, who plans to face other magic beasts. Juhee is tasked with looking after Jinwoo. Go discusses essence stones and mana crystals with his comrade, mentioning their potential for weapons and gear. The government aims to use them for clean energy, generating electricity for the world. Song and the hunters defeat the dungeon's boss, celebrating their victory. As Jinwoo observes, Juhee expresses concern about Jinwoo's injuries and questions his pursuit of the hunter lifestyle. Jinwoo apologizes, wishing for more than an E-rank essence stone. Hunters discover a cave, speculating if it leads to another dungeon. Song suggests waiting for the Hunters Association's decision, but Park, considering its connection to a D-rank dungeon, thinks it's safe. Song proposes a vote, with 6 hunters agreeing to proceed and the rest opposing. Jinwoo casts the tiebreaker to send them down into the second half of the double dungeon. Juhee is frustrated with Jinwoo's decision. After wandering with no monster encounters, the party enters a large room filled with statues. Suddenly, the entrance closes and a hunter attempting to leave is murdered by a statue. Concern rises about the statues, especially the one that caught Juhee's attention. Jinwoo reflects on past dungeon raids with fellow hunters. Reflecting on his past dungeon experiences, Jinwoo acknowledges others had better outcomes. Despite his challenging encounters, he developed a keen eye for opportunities and dangers. The statue shoots a laser, annihilating a few hunters. Jinwoo questions whether he and his allies will escape this place with their lives intact. Song praises Jinwoo's observation skills and asks him to tend to his wound, considering Juhee's difficulty with intense scenarios. Reflecting on B-rank dungeons, Song believes the giant statue is an A or S-rank level foe. Reciting lines from the scripture, Jinwoo wonders if the god mentioned is the giant statue. Song suggests creating a solid strategy. Despite one member's disagreement and attempt to escape with speed, he perishes to the statue's laser beam. Jinwoo questions the statue's intentions, asking Song to reiterate the ancient scripture's first commandment. Jinwoo bows before the statue, following the commandment to revere God, halting the attack. Jinwoo instructs others to do the same, escaping death for now. The god statue rises and approaches the hunters. Song asks Jinwoo what to do next, prompting Jinwoo to remember the second commandment about praising God. A male hunter prays to the god statue, but it murders him. Jinwoo believes the words don't apply, and another hunter is killed. Park tries to escape, but is murdered by a statue ally. Jinwoo notices non-threatening statues with instruments and directs others toward them. Song and an ally approach the safe statues, while Jinwoo and Juhee head to one for protection. Jinwoo leaves Juhee uncertain if the statue will protect them both, but reaches an instrument-carrying statue in time, saving himself. The god statue returns to its seat, and Jinwoo realizes this is the correct way to praise it. Juhee rushes to Jinwoo, discovering he's lost a leg. As Juhee heals Jinwoo, Kim scolds Song for poor leadership. The god statue causes the floor to rupture and summons an altar. Jinwoo relays intel on altars and the third commandment about proving faith. Kim suggests Song sacrifice himself, making Jinwoo feel guilty. Flames erupt around the altar, prompting Jinwoo to ask two hunters to take him there for observation. At the altar, Jinwoo and Song discuss whether waiting for help is a good idea. Jinwoo explains the dungeon break phenomenon that occurs when a gate opens fully after 7 days, allowing monsters into the real world. He emphasizes the importance of defeating the dungeon boss and sealing the gate before the 7-day limit. Jinwoo fears the god statue might leave its dungeon, causing chaos in the real world. He instructs Kim and Juhee to enter the altar's domain. Several statues approach, and Jinwoo urges everyone to watch them. A female hunter flees under pressure, leaving Jinwoo confused. Another hunter drops Jinwoo and flees, following the woman. Kim attempts to escape, but Jinwoo insists they keep their eyes on the statue. He believes the blue flames act as a timer, and once extinguished, they will be free to go. Kim praises Jinwoo and decides to leave. Song instructs Juhee to escape with Jinwoo and leave him behind. Juhee attempts to leave, but realizes she can't move her legs. Jinwoo suggests Song and Juhee escape without him. Juhee refuses, so Song knocks her out and leaves Jinwoo alone. Left alone, Jinwoo rages against his imminent death and receives a message that he has completed the hidden quest and may become a player if he accepts the offer, or he will die. Jinwoo accepts the offer. Jinwoo wakes up in a hospital bed, finding his injuries from the statues miraculously gone. Woo and Kang from the Hunters Association explain that it really did happen, and that Song is reportedly retiring due to losing his arm, and Juhee is traumatized and in psychiatric care, and are there to check if Jinwoo experienced the very rare Second Awakening, in which a hunter will experience an increase in ability. The test comes back negative for changes. Woo and Kang apologize and leave. In his room, Jinwoo is shocked they didn't ask about the log. He tries to tamper with it, and Jinna, Jinwoo's sister, enters, scolding him for worrying her. Jinwoo realizes Jinna can't see the log and asks her about unread video game notifications. Jinna guides him, and Jinwoo learns he's become the player with a daily strength training quest. Jinwoo reads notifications about the player development system, warning of penalties for non-compliance. He receives a reward but doesn't fully understand. Opening the daily strength training quest, he laughs off the tasks for the day. Woo informs Chairman Go that Jinwoo didn't undergo a second awakening. Chairman Go appreciates the lack of a dungeon break, but marks the matter as a special case for evaluation. Guildmaster Choi suggests Cha participate in a B-rank raid as an instructor. A gate appears in the street, causing dismay among citizens. Jinwoo, at the hospital, learns from the log that he failed his daily quest. Suddenly, he finds himself in a desert facing a giant centipede, told to survive for 4 hours due to the failure. Jinwoo runs for his life, completes the quest, and returns to the hospital. Overwhelmed, Jinwoo faints as the log reveals he received a reward for completing the penalty quest. The next morning, Jinwoo informs Jinna that he might leave the hospital soon. Jinna is delighted, joking about Jinwoo taking her to dinner soon. At Juhee's home, she declines a D-rank raid invitation and learns about Jinwoo's condition. Juhee arrives at the hospital and overhears nurses discussing Jinwoo's recent infatuation with exercise. Spotting Jinwoo running outside, she confronts him. Jinwoo completed his daily strength training quest and shares insights about the player development system and the 3 types of rewards for completing quests. The rewards Jinwoo receives from the loot box include full recovery, ability points, and a random loot box containing various items. He examines today's loot box and finds a key that teleports him to an instance dungeon. Jinwoo questions its purpose briefly. Following a news report about D-rank and C-rank gates appearing, Jinwoo visits his mother's hospital room. In a flashback, Jinwoo, Jinna, and their mother are featured. Jinwoo's mother has final rest, an eternal sleep disease linked to the gates. The doctor explains it's a rare condition from excessive mana exposure, and proper life support is the only treatment for Jinna and Jinwoo's mother. In a montage, Jinwoo completes his daily quests, reflecting on past experiences with co-workers and hunters. In his hospital room, he allocates most of his ability points to strength stats. Jinwoo then travels to Hapjeong Station, using the loot box key to enter the instance dungeon. However, the dungeon closes and the log informs Jinwoo he must defeat the boss or use a teleportation stone to return home. Facing goblins, Jinwoo defeats them, but a steel-fanged lichen appears, lowering his morale. Jinwoo worries about the lack of healing support. The lichen leaps toward Jinwoo. The steel-fanged lichen pounces, but Jinwoo skillfully avoids the attack and lands a punch. They scuffle, and Jinwoo summons a magic sword from the log's inventory, defeating the lichen. Struggling to retrieve his sword, two more lichens approach. Jinwoo manages to defeat another, causing the third to retreat. Relaxing, he notices increased levels and stats from the real combat experience. Approaching a dead lichen, Jinwoo checks for an essence stone but finds none. Instead, he receives a fang as a reward. Jinwoo realizes this dungeon differs from typical gates. A store appears, but Jinwoo can't access it yet, needing a higher level. Jinwoo sells the lichen fang for 20 gold and questions if it's a substantial amount. He speculates that this instance dungeon is at best E rank level. Contemplating the dungeon's rules, Jinwoo is unsure where to focus. Suddenly, multiple lichens appear and Jinwoo engages them fiercely. As he defeats each lichen, several level-up logs appear, earning Jinwoo the Wolf Assassin title. Realizing his sword is nearing its end, Jinwoo defeats all the lichens. The Wolf Assassin title log informs him of numerous items earned, including a teleportation stone. Jinwoo chooses to continue exploring the instance dungeon. Meanwhile, Juhee receives a call from the person who contacted her in episode 3. They inform her about a dungeon break and a desperate need for healers. Thinking of Jinwoo, Juhee accepts the mission. In the instance dungeon, Jinwoo mercilessly defeats magic beasts and levels up. He observes that the color of the monsters' titles indicates their strength levels, which can change based on his current level. Jinwoo moves to a perilous environment, anticipating a formidable challenge from a magic beast. While exploring, a magic beast attacks Jinwoo, breaking his sword. The beast, an orange named Kasaka, appears, signifying its equal strength to Jinwoo. He assumes it's the dungeon's boss and engages in battle. Uncertain about facing the Kasaka's impenetrable skin, Jinwoo fights with determination. In the midst of the battle, Jinwoo reflects on courage, weakness, and strength, drawing from his experiences as a hunter and citizen. With unwavering determination and memories of the god statue, Jinwoo uses his strength to overpower and defeat the Kasaka. Several log entries inform Jinwoo of his significant level up after defeating the Kasaka. He receives a dagger crafted from the Kasaka's fangs and a venom gland. Jinwoo decides to store the venom gland, deeming it a terrifying item. The log sends him back to Earth, where he encounters a soldier leading him to a tragic incident. Jinwoo learns of a dungeon break and, using his enhanced perception, pinpoints the boss's location. Observing the struggling party from afar, he identifies reasons for their failure. Noticing Juhee's distress from the god statue incident, Jinwoo determines the boss is weaker than him. He hurls his broken sword at the boss, shattering its defenses and enabling the party to defeat it. A member sees Jinwoo's dagger and inquires about its thrower. Before introductions occur, Jinwoo flees. Meanwhile, he is surprised by the effectiveness of his broken sword against the boss. Juhee contemplates if Jinwoo was the one who threw the sword. That was it from today. Keep connected for what happens next in the upcoming episodes of Solo Leveling. Subscribe and hit the like button. Have a great day.